بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ألف لام ميم ذلك الكتاب لا ريب فيه هدى للمتقين.
Interpretation of the Holy Quran.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful. With the help of Allah, we started to have short interpretation and easy interpretation of Quran. We started chapter An-Naziat until verse 14. We explained and we talked about them. Please listen to the verse 15 to 19.
هل أتاك حديث موسى إذ ناداه ربه بالواد المقدس طوى اذهب إلى فرعون إنه طغى فقل هل لك إلى أن تزكى وأهديك إلى ربك فتخشى.
Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala says, هل أتاك حديث موسى? Has not there come to you the story of Moses? إذ ناداه ربه بالواد المقدس طوى, when his Lord called upon him in the holy valley Tuwa. اذهب إلى فرعون إنه طغى, go to Pharaoh, surely he has become inordained. فقل هل لك إلى أن تزكى, then say, have you a desire to purify yourself? وأهديك إلى ربك فتخشى, and I will guide you to your Lord so that you should fear. Allah is talking about Wad al-Muqaddas Tuwa, is nadahu rabbahu, when Allah talked to the Moses. Bilwad al-Muqaddas Tuwa. Wad, what is Wad? The Wad is a valley. The place, the space between two mountains are called valley and Wad. Tuwa is below the mountain. Then Allah says, وَأَهْدِيَكَ إِلَىٰ رَبِّكَ فَتَخْشَىٰ. What is فَتَخْشَىٰ? Khashiyat. Khashiyat means fear from Allah. When a person believes in God and knows the result of Judgment Day, the result of the belief will be fear from Allah. It means fear from punishment. And the punishment is the reaction of our deeds. So khashya and fear is something that is praised. Allah loves it. This is an attribute for believers. Believers are those who fear from Allah. Then Allah says, فَقُلْ هَلْ لَكَ إِلَىٰ أَن تَزَكَّى. What is tazakka? Tazakka is from zakat. And zakat in Arabic word, it has two meanings. One, purify, and one, improve. Growth, for example, or improve. Then Allah says, نَادَاهُ رَبَّهُ بِالْوَادِ الْمُقَدَّسِ طُوَى. The area and the place, the valley that Allah talked to the Moses, it was بِالْوَادِ الْمُقَدَّسِ. It was a valley, but holy valley. It will tell us the area, the place that Allah is going to talk to us should be holy. And of course, it deserves when we want to talk to Allah in our prayer, we choose somewhere that is holy, like mosque. This is the reason that it is recommended a lot, and we get a lot of rewards to say our prayers in holy places like mosque. Then Allah, we see in other verses of Quran, Allah says, "Tahir baytiya lit-ta'ifina wal-qa'imina wal-ruk'a is-sujud." Allah tells to the Abraham, "O Prophet Abraham, purify my house for the people who are coming to my house, Baytullah al-Haram, and they want to go around my house, then they want to pray, they want to prostrate. Purify the house for them. Since they are going to talk to me, and the place should be very clean, because it should be holy, it is holy, and it should be clean." In another verse, we will see that Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala says, "Ma kana lil mushrikeen an ya'muru masajid Allah." It is not deserved that the house of Allah will be repaired by non-believers. It is wonderful that if we have a good money, very pure money, it will be spent in the house of Allah. Not, God forbidden, when we have a money that is mixed with haram, we will say, okay, this money I'm going to spend in the house of Allah. Allah doesn't need my money and doesn't need your money either. So if it is good money and pure money from wonderful source, it should be spent in the house of Allah. Otherwise, what is the reason that Allah says, "Ma kana lil mushrikeen," non-believers, is not deserved that they will come to repair the house of Allah? Allah could say, okay, encourage anybody to come and make my house and repair it. No. Allah doesn't need it. Allah wants good people and pure money for His house. In awliya'uhu illa al-muttaqun, those people that want to have a authority or to manage or have supervision on my house, they should be very pious people, righteous people. This is not normal house. Our houses should be clean, and it doesn't matter who cleans, but the house of Allah is different. Since the area is holy, good people should be in charge to manage it, to clean it. So brothers, sisters, we should know those people who have power and who have authority in the mosque, they have more responsibility. They should be more righteous people, better than average, definitely. Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala says, "Khudhu zinatakum inda kulli masjid." When you are going to the mosque, take your adornment with yourself. The best clothes should be for the mosque. The best perfume for the mosque. So this is really bad if a person wants to go to the mosque and he says, okay, I'm going to have normal clothes. Why? Because I'm going to the mosque. Of course, the best clothes for the house. خُذُوا زِينَتَكُمْ. Take your adornment when you are going to the mosque. Allah starts these verses with this sentence, هَلْ أَتَاكَ حَدِيثُ مُوسَى. This is a question. Did you hear the story of Moses? It will tell us sometime when you start with question, it will attract more people. People first should have question, then they look forward to get the answer for their question. Then Allah starts to say the story. He says, هَلْ أَتَاكَ حَدِيثُ مُوسَى. Did you hear the story of Moses? It means to tell the stories of previous prophets to the prophets that are coming is a very good lesson. We should pay attention to the stories. Allah has said many stories in the Quran, but they are the stories that are going to teach us something. Not the stories just like that. We are encouraged to tell the stories, to hear the stories, but with one condition. The stories that are going to teach us how to live, how to behave, how to treat the others. Then Allah says, إذ ناداه ربه بالوادي المقدس طوى اذهب إلى فرعون إنه طغى. Allah wants to send Moses, and he has sent Moses to talk to Pharaoh, but first he talked to him. Allah wants to say, when a person is going to fight a person like Moses, first he should strengthen his relation to Allah. First talk to Allah and trust him, take a power from Allah, then go to the Moses and talk to him. Allah says, إِذْ نَادَاهُ رَبَّهُ بِالْوَادِ الْمُقَدَّسِ طُوًى. When Allah talked to the Moses in the valley that is holy, it will tell us that different places have different values. We cannot say all the places are the same. Definitely are not. Days are not the same. Friday is different from other days. Months are not the same. Holy month of Ramadan is different from other months. Houses are not the same. House of Allah is different from other houses. So that area is a holy valley. Then Allah says, اذهب إلى فرعون إنه طغى. If we should fight with the rebellious, the prophets should be first, because they are our role model. They are our masters. So first Allah says to the Moses, you go first, then the people will follow you. Then Allah says, اذهب إلى فرعون. Fir'aun is a root of misleading people. If you want to fight with the problems in the society, Allah says, go and find the roots. So roots of the problem in that time was Pharaoh. And Allah says to the Prophet, go and talk to him. اذهب إلى فرعون. Then Allah says, فَقُلْ هَلْ لَكَ إِلَىٰ أَن تَزَكَّىٰ. We will understand that if we want to advise and guide the others, we should not be disappointed from anybody, even if it is Pharaoh. It is our responsibility to accomplish the reasons, to disconnect any excuses on Judgment Day. Because in Judgment Day, everybody wants to find some excuses. Excuse me, God, I didn't get the reason, I did not understand the truth, and so on. So Allah says to the Moses, go and talk to the Pharaoh. هَلْ لَكَ إِلَىٰ أَن تَزَكَّىٰ. Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala says, talk to the people and let their nature talk to them. Because the nature of everybody wants to purify himself. Okay. Try to talk to a person in such a way that his nature loves it. If you tell to anybody, do you want to be clean? Of course he says yes. Do you want to improve yourself? Of course. So talk to the Pharaoh in such a way. Then Allah says, هَلَّكَ. It means when you want to advise to somebody, talk very gently. Even if it is Pharaoh, don't talk harsh. It doesn't affect. Tell him that, do you want to purify yourself? This is the way that prophets guided people and attract them. هَلَّكَ إِلَىٰ أَن تَزَكَّىٰ. It means the goal of guiding people and talking to the people, the goal is to purify them. In another sentence, إِلَىٰ أَن تَزَكَّىٰ. When you talk to the Pharaoh, talk in such a way that his nature loves it, and it is to purify himself. Allah says, إِنَّهُ تَقَى. He started to make problem and disobey Allah. This is the source of the problem, and you tell him that I'm going to guide you. Then Allah says, أهديك إلى ربك فتخشى. Fatakhsha is a result of guiding. It means when a person is guided, then he fear from Allah. It means if he is not guided, he doesn't scare, he doesn't care. Because he doesn't know the truth and doesn't know the results. Ila Rabbika will tell that the prophets are guiding people toward Allah. When Allah says, إِنَّهُ تَقَى أَن تَزَكَّى فَتَخْشَى, we will understand that when there is a rebellion, then as a result there is impurity. But from other side, when a person is purified, then he fear from Allah. Thank you very much for watching. We ask Allah to help us to fear Allah in this world until we will be saved in Judgment Day. Thank you very much for watching. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.